Before 8 this morning, first responders rushed to the shopping center in Columbia to investigate a gas leak, which moments later would trigger an explosion.
WJZ's live on the scene right now. Rachel Menitoff has a look at this damage. Rachel.
Abijoy, Max, good evening. While we don't know what caused the explosion, you can catch a glimpse of the damage to the building over here. This is an area with office buildings and small businesses, and now many of the storefronts are virtually unrecognizable. Throughout the day,
you'll see a lot of people come through.
Many people in Columbia stopped.
Curiosity.
To see the damage up close and to talk about the explosion that caused it all.
It's pretty traumatic.
Around 7 o'clock Sunday morning, Howard County firefighters and paramedics were initially called here to Stanford Drive for reports of a gas leak.
We were formulating a plan when the building exploded.
Just before 8 o'clock, something inside the building exploded, leaving behind shards of glass, debris, rubble, and a building no longer structurally sound.
If it had been a normal work day, the evacuation and the clearing of the area would have been a little bit harder, and we definitely would have had a different circumstances.
Most importantly, though, none of these businesses were open and no one was injured. Governor Larry Hogan released a statement today saying, in part, this massive explosion was felt in many of the surrounding communities, a shock to families across the area. We are grateful to Howard County first responders for being on the scene in minutes. To give you an idea of just how extensive the damage is, I'm standing on one side of the building. My photographer is standing on the far side of the building, and we can see one another through what was once a Krav Maga martial arts studio. For Charlene Mead, who works just down the street, the aftermath is overwhelming.
Seeing it from this side kind of makes it even more dramatic.
Because underneath the destruction are small businesses whose livelihoods depend on a physical storefront.
It touches everybody.
BGE released an updated statement tonight saying that it completed its safety inspections of the gas mains in the area and that it found no issues with the gas equipment. That being said, it wants people to know that the gas and electricity inside of this building and some of the surrounding buildings has been shut off indefinitely. We're live in Columbia tonight. I'm Rachel Menitoff for WJZ.
Now, this blast was so strong, people miles away say it woke them up. Our team coverage continues with Kelsey Kushner, who spoke to some of those residents.
Broken glass and crumbled concrete.
Just got up, took my shower, and I was getting ready to get on and eat breakfast, and I heard this boom. It was really loud.
Neighbors watched in disbelief as part of this shopping center collapsed before their eyes.
There's nothing. This is the backside where you can actually see part of the building. On the other side, it's just nothing but debris. Up second floor and first floor.
Fire officials say it was a gas leak that led to a massive explosion just before 8 a.m. Sunday morning at the Lakeside offices and shopping center. The blast knocked out power in the area. Some neighbors tell WJZ they could feel it from miles away.
And I heard some people said pictures were shaking in their houses.
I heard the fire trucks this morning.
Fire officials say it took about an hour to put out the flames and no injuries were reported. The explosion left several businesses destroyed.
We have about 20 to 30 businesses that are impacted. So I've asked our Economic Development Authority to continue working with them and their employees to ensure that they continue to move forward.
Some neighbors tell WJZ they're devastated.
It touches my heart because this is my community. And I use the custom tailors over here for dresses to be hemmed, and I know them. They're very kind people. And I know that there's a coffee shop and a gym here.
It's terrible. I'm just glad nobody was in there.
And officials say they are still working to figure out what caused that gas leak. Reporting here in Columbia, Kelsey Kushner for WJZ.